And let me just go ahead and welcome our first reader. I'm going to say just a couple things about her. Alexandra Martinez is a baker and poet living in the tumbleweeds of Southern California. Super short, sweet bio. I just want to add, I first heard about Alexandra maybe around 2018. She had a poem published in Cosmonaut Avenue, and it just blew me away. Somebody, if it was in my timeline on Twitter, I don't know who posted it, maybe Ingrid, I don't remember, but I befriended her on Twitter, and then I somehow tricked her into submitting some awesome work to Dryland. And so here we are today. Take it away, Alexandra.
Okay, can everybody hear me before I start? Okay, good, thank you. Thanks, Nikolai, for saying those very kind words. Hearing you say 2018 was kind of weird. That's a long time ago these days. Anyway, thank you, Eva Aruni, for your words. It's really cool that I get to share this with you guys. And thank you, Viva, Ivan, and Nikolai for setting the whole thing up. So my first two poems that I'm going to read are actually in issue 10 of Dryland, which you should get a copy of if you don't win it in the raffle, and if you don't have one yet. And the first poem is called Ocean. In Puerto Rico, there's a beach that's surrounded by a rock wall. If you look at videos online, you'll see there was a time where the ocean could crash over the rock wall and water would come in and fill into a half-moon beach below. But when I was there, climate change had done away with that. It was still possible to climb atop the black volcanic rock. So I did that. And all I could see was miles and miles of waves. It felt colder up there, and the wind was so strong that it was hard to stand up straight. I made my way up higher, sharp, jagged rocks, and watched a young boy stare out at the sea. I could hear Ocean by the Velvet Underground playing in my head, and felt that kind of rush you feel when you're exhilarated to be alive, but also astounded at the easy opportunity to just end it all. My next poem, also in Dryland, is called Somewhere. Outside the library, all the jobless are walking around, staying out of the shade, out of the embrace of the Santa Ana winds. It's 2 o'clock, and the clock tower plays Somewhere from West Side Story. There's the couple I always see. The man shuffles in front of the woman as she pushes their home along. They don't notice all the painted ladies swarming around and how they flutter slowly like falling confetti inside the Staples Center, slowly like a migration. The couple does a loop around the park and starts another one. Peace and quiet and open air. Butterflies know nothing of walls and fences and borders. I wish for the couple the luck of butterflies, somehow, someday, somewhere. Thank you. This next poem I actually wrote last year, which is saying a lot because I don't think I wrote much last year at all. And it's called Peace Pilgrim, and I wrote it for Rebecca Solnit, who's a writer y'all should check out if you haven't read any of her work. She's not a poet, but her writing is very poetic. So this is Peace Pilgrim. For centuries, people have been doing the long walk, the pilgrimage, even when they didn't know they were. Their feet, their souls, their bodies all said, this is right now a pilgrimage. This is right now a rite of passage. This is right now freedom. The Peace Pilgrim knew this feeling. She would walk for hours in peaceful contemplation, She carried nothing and wanted nothing, but received plenty. For many, pilgrimage is a God that promises health and wealth. The pilgrims I know are red dirt and a lowrider spray painted in God's name. They are asking to be free of diabetes and back pain and things so simple that if I were a God, I'd hand to them from atop my 2-foot throne and say nothing, but see you again next year. The one time I felt like a pilgrim, I stood outside a cathedral entrance in Mexico. I crossed myself before getting down on my knees and joined the procession of people shuffling their bodies forward on the worn marble floor. The pain was immediate. The distance was long. I tried to focus on what I wanted, but did not know what it was. I was young and could afford to learn more about pain. We have all been dragging our knees across the broken sidewalks of this place, collecting dirt, dust, and little pebbles in the craters of our knees. When we reach our destination, we will cool ourselves in the shade, point back at the trail we have made, and say, is that enough? Thank you. This next poem is called Fuck the Clock. Oh my God, fuck time zones and fuck what hour or day it is. The question should always be, is the sun or moon up where you are? The answer will always be yes. An addendum, fuck the clock. Patti Smith wore it first. Look it up. On Instagram, she's always posting pictures of her handwriting or coffee or the moon, and honestly, same. I am trying to find meaning after watching a video of air being moved around. That's putting it lightly. Of fire, of an explosion. I am trying to find meaning after waking up at the dark pre-sunrise hour and looking into the horizon and seeing another fire burning here. The fire there is unlike the fire here, but they are both the same in that they remind me of chaos theory, or more specifically, the butterfly effect. Homero Gomez Gonzalez, patron saint of butterflies, was murdered this year. This year that has murdered so many in a different time zone than mine. In my time zone, people create native plant gardens for butterflies to call home, or suburban lawns for no one. Thank you. While you were asleep, me and your dad sang all of American Pie. Him in the front seat, me in the back, and it made me want to cry because I wanted him to know how much I wanted to be what he wanted me to be. But all he says is, bye-bye, Miss American Pie. I wanted to tell him about the girl with skin browner than me and how we drive around in her little blue scoot scoot with this exact song playing loud and all the windows down to let winter remind us that we were still walking along the edge of a levee of the mind. But all he said was, bye-bye, Miss American Pie. And I am trying to explain to him that there were plenty of us girls raised on tortillas y los virus, and that we love this goddamn country eternally. We love the frost on the pines, and we love the desert needles, and we'd seen so much more of America than he would ever see. That we've been on all the highways and ran out of cars screaming like banshees, and how much we love these stars. But I can't say any of this. So instead, I bake him the goddamn best American pie. He eats it all and still says, bye-bye. That poem was called America. Thank you. This is my last poem. It's called Yesenia Zamudio. Yesenia Zamudio is a woman, a Mexican woman, whose daughter was found murdered in, I think, 2016 at this point. And she's a victim of the femicide that has been ravaging Mexico for decades now. And yeah, so I wrote this poem for her. You like to tell me who I am when you don't even like the sound of your own voice. But the thing to remember is that I am the hand that gently douses the back of a cop's neck with gasoline. I am the fingers that strike the match that sets him ablaze. And as he's rolling around in his own melt, I am still moving like a wildfire. This is when I become the spit that comes out of Yesenia Samurio's mouth when she says, yo no soy una colectiva, ni necesito un tambor, ni necesito un pinche partido político que me represente. Yo me represento sola y sin micrófono. Her words are an incantation, and I become a tumbleweed thousands of miles away, non-native and invasive, rejecting any existence seen as useful to you or anyone. Yo me represento sola. Thank you. So yeah, make sure to pick up a copy if you don't win the raffle tonight. And this beautiful artwork by Patrick Martinez. And the link to donate to, I think it's in the bio or something, but it's drylandla.org/donate. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexandra. That was great. That was great. We're going to put up a couple of links in the chat. Ivan's going to put up a couple of links so you can follow Alexandra, read some of her past poems, and donate also to some of the work that she does with the community fridges over in her area. Quick reminder, if you want to participate in the raffle, just send a private message with your name to Viva Padilla. Okay, now we're gonna move on to Aruni. Aruni Wijaysinga is a project manager, ESL teacher, erstwhile belly dancer, instructor, and occasional chef. She has been published